Once upon a time, in a quiet little village hidden deep within a mountain range, there lived a young man named Hiroshi. Now, Hiroshi was known for having a restless mind, one that buzzed with thoughts and worries, and made it difficult for him to find peace through himself. This inner turmoil affected every aspect of his life. Hiroshi longed for a way to empty his mind, find some serenity amidst the chaos of his thoughts. One day he heard of a wise old monk who lived high up in a secluded temple atop a nearby mountain, one whose profound wisdom and ability to guide others on their spiritual journeys intrigued him. He decided to seek out the monk and learn the secret to emptying his mind. The path to the temple was treacherous, with steep, winding trails that seemed like they would go on forever, but Hiroshi's determination propelling him forward. After days of grueling travel, he finally reached the temple and was greeted by the serene presence of the old monk. "I have come seeking guidance," Hiroshi said, bowing respectfully to the monk. "I wish to empty my mind and find peace within myself. Can you teach me?" The old monk smiled knowingly and gestured for Hiroshi to sit beside him. "Emptying the mind is not a task to be accomplished with force or haste," he said gently. "It is a gradual process, one that requires patience, self-discipline, and reflection. Are you willing to embark on this journey?" Hiroshi nodded eagerly, hope welling in his heart. And so, under the guidance of the old monk, Hiroshi began his training. The first lesson he was taught was the art of mindfulness. The monk instructed him to sit quietly by a flowing stream and observe the water without judgment or analysis. At first, it was difficult for Hiroshi to keep his mind from wandering. But with practice, he began to notice the intricate patterns of the water, watching how it flowed effortlessly over rocks and around obstacles. As Hiroshi deepened his practice of mindfulness, he realized the thoughts in his head were like the rushing currents of the stream. They came and went just as fast, sometimes gentle and calm, other times chaotic and turbulent. He learned to observe his thoughts without getting caught up in them, just allowing them to drift free past his awareness like the leaves that float in the current of the stream. The second lesson the old monk taught Hiroshi was the art of letting go. This led them to the top of the mountain, where the monk led Hiroshi to a beautiful garden filled with vibrant colors and lush greenery. In the center stood a magnificent cherry blossom tree, its branches swaying lightly in the breeze. "Observe the tree," he instructed. "Notice how it stands tall and proud, but remains flexible, bowing with the wind. Learn from it. Practice the art of letting go." Hiroshi watched the cherry blossom gracefully surrender its blossoms to the wind, releasing them one by one, realizing holding on to his thoughts and attachments only brought him hardship and no inner peace. With each falling blossom, he felt a little more of that weight lift off his shoulders. As the days of training continued, Hiroshi came across many challenges. Sometimes later, his mind would flood with feelings of worry and fear, yet the old monk always offered gentle reminders to return to the present moment. One day, while in meditation, a powerful storm swept through the mountains, thunder rolling and rain pouring down relentlessly. Hiroshi felt this surge of panic well up inside of him, his mind becoming a whirlpool of fear and anxiety. He rushed to the old monk, seeking solace and guidance. The old monk welcomed him with a warm smile, unbothered by the storm raging outside. He motioned for Hiroshi to join him in the meditation room and instructed him to sit in the stillness, no matter the chaos that surrounded them. As Hiroshi closed his eyes and focused on his breath, the old monk began to speak softly, his words a weight of profound wisdom. "Embrace the storm within you, just as nature embraces the storms that pass through," he said. "Observe the tempest of thoughts and emotion without resistance, without judgment. Allow them to rise and subside, like the passing storm." Hiroshi took the monk's words into him slowly, realizing that the key to emptying his mind was not to cage or escape his thoughts, but to acknowledge and accept them fully. He realized that true peace could only be found when being present in the midst of the storms around him. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. As Hiroshi diligently practiced his studies with the old monk, he found relief in the simplicity of each moment. The delicate beauty of a blooming flower, the gentle whispers of the wind, the stillness of his own breath. With this, his mind became increasingly more spacious and tranquil. Once the storm had passed, the constant chatter of worries and doubts diminished, replaced by the profound sense of inner peace. The thoughts he had came and went, and no longer did he identify with them as they presented themselves, these fleeting phenomena that would come and go. One day, as Hiroshi sat in meditation with a light heart and a cleared mind, the old monk approached him, a serene smile gracing his face. "Hiroshi, you have come a long way on your journey," the old monk said. "But remember, the true essence of emptiness is not in the absence of thoughts, but in the awareness that is beyond them. It is in the stillness that lies beneath the storm." Hiroshi nodded, gratitude filling his heart. He had learned from the monk that to empty the mind did not mean erasing thoughts, but instead cultivating space and a deep presence to allow them to arise and dissipate naturally, without attachment or resistance. As Hiroshi bade farewell to the old monk and began to descend the mountain, he carried the wisdom and practices he had learned within him, now understanding that the path of emptying the mind was not a destination, it was a lifelong journey. Returning to his village, Hiroshi became a source of inspiration for those who sought inner peace. He shared mindful practices, letting go, and embracing the storms within, guiding others along their own paths of self-discovery. Years passed, and Hiroshi's name spread across great distances. People sought him out, near and far, humbled to share his wisdom, always reminding them that the true power lay within themselves. In the twilight of his long life, as Hiroshi sat beneath the cherry blossom tree, he reflected upon his journey and realized the key to emptying the mind had not lied solely in the teachings of the old monk, but in his own firm commitment and willingness to explore the depths of his own soul. With a serene smile, Hiroshi closed his eyes, feeling the gentle caress of the wind and the blossoms span around him. In that moment, he knew that he would continue to empty his mind to the end, a continuous dance with life itself, a dance of acceptance, surrender, and profound inner peace. And so the story of Hiroshi, the restless young man who became a beacon of serenity, spread throughout the world, a gentle reminder to those who heard it that within the depths of their own minds, they too held within them the power to empty their thoughts and discover the endless peace that lay within. Thank you.